Hello, potential Knuckles Chaotix speedrunner. You picked quite the strategy to learn today, or to have a look at. This is the. I mean, I did find it, so I guess I could call it a hib clip. But in other words, this is a door clip, and this is in the second stage of the introduction. So at this point in the game, we have saved SBO. We are now married, as you can see. Sort of they're flexing their rings, and we need to, in this section, to start off with, we do a one-tap spin dash and then a jump to get our speed. We go up a little slope, and then we have to jump on a platform, and then we are at the section where we need to do our clip. So I will show you how we get there, and then I will show you what we do. We want to be carrying maximum speed towards this section because the speed is what gets us through this wall and the dodgy collision. But that's a whole different story. So if we unpause and we jump and we spin dash and tap, and then we go over that platform, and then here we are. This is the section where we want to go through the door. So we don't want to have to put Knuckles there and SBO there and then open that door. That's slow. So what we can do instead is time a glide to clip into either part of this collision. These little corners there. I don't think you can quite do it up there, and I don't think you can quite make it up there regardless, but you need speed for this. So with the way that I've pause buffered, it's probably unlikely that I can get through it. But I'll see what we can do. No, we didn't quite make it, so we will use the lovely power of emulation, the one thing that it can help us for. So we get our speed again, and we go through it like that. So the way that it works, I'll do a little bit of science. The way that clips and zips work in this game, Knuckles Chaotix isn't quite the same as Sonic 3 and Sonic 2, where it will send you to one side of the map, and then it will send you all the way to the other. Instead, because they're more vertically based, they were developed a little bit differently. If you find yourself inside parts of the level, parts of the collision, you will automatically get zipped diagonally to the top right of the level. I don't know why that happens, but it does, and it's truly incredible to see in tool-assisted speedruns. So in this case, Knuckles finds himself clipping in there. The reason that we press left is so that we don't get spewed out over to the right. Actually, I don't think it makes much of a difference, because in other Sonic games where you can press to choose which direction you end up doing your fling or your wrap, no, definitely not fling. you can choose where you end up going in terms of which part, like which way you go, and usually it's going right to go left and left to go right. But in this case, Knuckles Chaotix says you're going to the top right, you got to deal with it. So at the moment, we find Knuckles has gone through one of these little spiky boys. I think it might have been that corner there, and he's just gone whoop up there. So at this point you might wonder, well, that's great, but SBO ain't gone through the door, has he? Now there are two ways of doing this. One way I definitely don't recommend at all is to try and like wriggle him out, because that's slow and it doesn't always work. Actually, that was very interesting, that one. But very inconsistent. So instead, we want to try pulling it off again. Sometimes it doesn't work, so we want our maximum speed. And then we actually had a very tight window where we could make it through on that. But instead, Knuckles has got through. That's what we wanted. That is our goal. We are going to press A. It might be something different on a keyboard. Which means SBO will sort of be flung out. He won't be active as a character. And then we have just control over Knuckles, and then we can sort of get out of the slope, because as you can see, he is actually still in the level because of the connection. I love the animation. And we want to move out of that, so we want to do a little jump so that we are still not stuck in the geometry. So we do A, then we jump out, a quick one-tap spin dash and we're up here, and then SBO is with us to do these doors because these ones we can't skip. And then here we are. We are at the end of that stage, so I will show you in one smooth motion how it goes, hopefully. Probably won't do it first time. I wasn't expecting to. I was making sure... I'll come up with an excuse. I was making sure my controller was in shot. Again, so these are the different results if you don't get it. Might as well be good to show that off. Even I can't get it all the time. There are sort of different windows between being able to do it and not being able to do it. So there we go. This is quite a tight trick to do, but once you know how it's done, it's not something that sort of kills a run, I guess, for me. It's something that, if it happens, it's cool. It raises a few eyebrows at marathons particularly, but in the end, all you're doing is potentially getting around completing this part of the section at about 40 seconds, whereas if you just do it normally and you do the doors, say we jump over the platform again, instead of going like fully committing to that clip, we just go round, make sure SBA gets that, we do our jumping off the sides, and then just, yeah, straight to the end. So in the end, it saves about between 5 and 6 seconds if done well. But yes, don't feel like it's the be-all or end-all of a run. It's just something a little cheeky to do. And it doesn't always work for me, so it's yeah, it's very sort of touchy. But it's a cool party trick. It's a cool trick to show your friends. In terms of getting that big box, the enlarger box, that's another result. So we clipped in a little bit lower in that section. I recommend going back to look all of the clips that I've done in this video and look at them in slow motion, because it shows sort of different variations and where you end up. So as you can see, Knuckles has actually just gone through the door. He hasn't properly gone up to the slope, so he's still saving a little bit at a time. Get rid of SBA, and then again just do the same protocol up here. I did mention the big boxes, or just going up here, which that's definitely not quicker. We still ended up in the same place, I think. Yeah, we have. So if we go back here, so if Knuckles gets it, I believe he can. I believe it's incredibly tight for him to get it. I have got it before, but again, Knuckles' physics as a big boy is completely different. So if you hold down a jump, you can see how incredibly high he goes. If you do a tap jump, he doesn't go quite as far. But the margins for him getting through on the clip are completely scuppered. SBA can get the box and you can do the clip. I will try and show that off. It's very hard to get SBA to get it. Go on, SBA. There we go. So SBA's got it. You want to try and make sure that we've got speed. I wasn't quite doing it. That's... that might not be enough. Okay, thank you, SBA. So usually that jump gets you up to speed. If you're worried that you're not going to get enough, let's try again with Big Knuckles. So yeah, there we go. You can get through with Big Knuckles. I wouldn't recommend it because Knuckles is a little bit clunky to control in these sections. But still, again, gets you out on a good time. Let's see, come on, Big SBA, we want you. There we go. So we got Big SBA. And there we go, we can get the clip out. So as you can see, I went up a little bit higher in that clip and it sort of put us nearer that side of the slope, and it went a little bit jerky at one point. That's one of the variables that having a big character adds, but again, it's nothing to worry about, and you can still, well, I mean, we still got it. So I hope that was a somewhat cohesive explanation of how this works. Again, if you have any more questions, feel free to ask me. I'm in the Sonic Speedrun Discord, and I'm constantly checking the other classics channel to make sure no questions are going unanswered about this game, because I've got a bit of a crush on it, let's be honest. So yeah, if this is something you are interested in, hit me up. I can help you out, and I hope that this was useful.